Welcome to TCM this Tuesday evening. I'm Alicia Malone, and we're continuing our spotlight on movies that are out of this world. And with Saturday, July 20th being the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, we are concentrating tonight on movies about traveling to the moon. And this is a subject that has fascinated filmmakers and audiences throughout cinema history, from A Trip to the Moon by Georges Méliès in 1902 right through to First Man by Damien Chazelle in 2018. And let's begin our night with a film from 1950 that is remarkably accurate, especially considering satellites were still 7 years away. It's Destination Moon, directed by Irving Pitchell and produced by George Pal. And Pal was the driving force behind this movie, pushing for it to be as realistic as possible. The story is based on a novel called Rocket Ship Galileo, written by sci-fi author Robert Heinlein, who Pal hired to write the screenplay. And this film is very different than his book. That was for teen audiences, while this has more of a documentary feel about 4 astronauts on a tough voyage to the moon. Some of the studio executives wanted a love story or aliens added, but Pal, Heinlein and director Irving Pitchell stuck to their guns and made a science fiction where the science wasn't too much fiction. There is an animated section, but this was just another way to put more science in there, with Woody Woodpecker helping to explain some of the technical details about how rockets work. All right, it's time for Blast Off. From 1950, this is Destination Moon. And it certainly was the beginning. Just 7 years later, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1 and the race to the moon began in earnest. The Americans got there on July 20, 1969, 50 years ago this Saturday. And while Destination Moon has aged a bit, the depiction of the moon landing is still very impressive, especially considering the film had a budget of only around $600,000. The production crew got creative with the special effects, using large paintings on wheels for the backdrop of the moon and piano wire to lift the actors up so it looked like they were in low gravity. And according to producer George Pal, the cracks in the moon's surface were added on purpose to give their small set the illusion of being much larger. And he said that he regretted all the stars in the film were of equal brilliance, but said he couldn't afford to make any changes. Despite that, it won the Oscar for its special effects. And up next, we can compare what Destination Moon looks like against the real thing, as we show you a documentary about the astronauts who actually braved that journey to the moon.